Good evening. I'm nervous because I have a new setup for my mic and I don't know if the audio is going to be as good. Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Let me start off by saying, hi, I know I'm an hour early. I'm really sorry. I genuinely don't think I'm going to stay conscious for another hour though, and I figured it'd be better to do my stream early than to accidentally pass out without doing anything at all. Because that's what I predicted would happen. I'm very tired. How are we doing? Hello, Kamal. Hello, Hugs. Hello, Sir Cute. Hello, Robert. What did you change about your mic? So a little while ago, I got a new, what's the word for it? The, holds things up. Holds things up. Stand. I got a new stand for my webcam. And then I moved my old one to the side. And then I was like, you know, my old mic arm for my ASMR mic is really inconvenient. It's only got two parts and it gets stuck if I try and turn it too far. It's just generally, it doesn't have as much movement, as much freedom as any other arm I own. So what if I use my old webcam one for my ASMR mic instead? And so it is now on that. It is in a slightly different position than before. It's slightly further from me, but it is also, I know I don't use this aspect very often, but like the directional stuff should now actually be in line with my movements. So if I turn this way, it should be more towards this side of the head, and then this side on more like this side of the head. Sorry, I'm like flicking my nails to try and like make it obvious which side I'm talking about, because I don't lean like really heavily into that kind of stuff, so I'm trying to make it obvious which side I'm talking about. Sorry if that was distracting. But generally it's kind of further from my mouth, so I'm kind of a little bit worried that like I'm not gonna be loud enough, but I don't know. That on top of the fact that my computer is louder now. How much did the distance change? Kind of hard to tell you because I used to have to literally move my chair to like sit close enough to my mic in its old position. Okay, thank you, intense music. I know I did choose this music because this is the stuff that matches the stuff that I'm reading, but like, chill out. First time I'm watching all this light outside. Yes? I don't know, like during daylight's, just like the couple of weeks period where daylight saving's happening, there's like less hours between us. Unless, am I streaming 2 hours earlier than usual instead of 1 hour earlier than usual? I don't know. I'm tired. Ugh. Hello, Plivium. Reading stream reel. True. I don't know whether it's gonna be a full length stream. I'm so freaking tired. There's less hours between us and then it gets dark. Oh! Okay. I want to put the digital volume boost before the final limiter on the mic chain. So like turn up the volume on my... What's it called? What's the audio box called? Do not turn up the mic. The mic doesn't have a volume control on the mic anyway. The only places I can turn the mic up would be the audio box. Digital volume boost in OBS over. Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. I already know adding gain in OBS is a terrible idea. Does this mean the well server maintenance happened an hour early today? No, I logged off before because so fun fact, during the very short periods of time where I get to play with other people, I wait to see like what content they want to do so that I don't like if I run Dragon Soul Heroic on my own and then my friends are like, oh, I want to do Dragon Soul, and then I'm gonna be like, I can't do it with you because I've already done it, I'm locked out. So I always hold off when my friends are playing on doing stuff. Yeah, I've only got like 10 days left of subscription, but you know. But yeah, we didn't do anything really this last week, so I basically had to sit down and do like all of my raids yesterday, and it was a lot. It kind of worked me out a bit. Why is Bro still playing Dragon Soul? Because I still have 2 mounts that haven't dropped from Dragon Soul. I still need the Blazing Drake, and I still need Experiment. Is it 24B or something? Doesn't your dad give you infinite? Yeah, I have. I can play whenever. I can play. Yeah, my dad pays for it, but he doesn't pay for my friends. Can you imagine? That would be so rude of me. Hey Dad, you know these people you've never met before? You want to pay their subscriptions too? But yeah, Havoc, I don't know what name. Havoc and Moth started playing again. There we go. Until I know what to call the other person, I'm gonna call them Moth. I need Havoc to start streaming again, so that the Moth will appear on Havoc's stream, and then I'll know how to refer to the Moth. Secret purity friend? Not a secret. I just don't know. How to refer to him. He's Havoc. He's Havoc's friend. Well, he's my friend too, but he came into our group via Havoc. but I just don't know what name. I just don't know what name to give it, because I don't want to, obviously as a VTuber, I don't want to like accidentally like dox parts of their internet identity that they don't want a VTuber talking about. So you gotta be careful with these kind of things sometimes. But no, not a secret. But once Havoc streams again, I'll know how to properly talk about the person. I found out what's stopping, well, there's many things stopping Havoc from streaming, but I found out another thing that's stopping Havoc stream again. They want to. They did find out what the main thing that was like making it so their computer was breaking when they tried to stream. Apparently their power supply isn't good enough to like handle all of their stuff. I'm just like, get a new power supply, and they're like, it's not that big of a priority. I'm like, god damn it. But also that they're still recovering from having the plague a billion times, so Havoc bears the plague so that the rest of us don't have to. Shout out to Havoc. You play with your dad? I used to play with my World of Warcraft with my dad. He used to be one of the main people in the raiding guild. He used to be one of the top people. So yeah, we would play together all the time. But he hasn't played for like 7 years, 7, 8 years. So. Bleh. It's fine though. I know why. He hasn't really like played video games for a long time. Have it got some kind of cold, flu, COVID? I don't even know. They got some kind of cough for a really long time that like never cleared up. And then I think the medication, once they finally got medication for that, then caused some other issue. And then, oh, I don't know. I mean, it's their health issue to talk about, not mine. But I've been worried about their health for a really long time. I need them to stop being ill. Who is Curie Dad's WoW waifu? I don't know if my dad has ever had a WoW waifu, to be honest. I don't think he ever expressed, if he ever felt that kind of way towards a character, he never expressed them to me, his child, which maybe I'm grateful for, because I don't need to hear that. Talk about my health issues if you wish. Yay! I don't know your health issues. Read today, if a cough doesn't clear up after 3 weeks of well, one needs to get checked out by a port. I mean, yeah, but Americans, I don't know if you know this, Havoc is American, and when you're in America there is a pretty severe deterrent against wanting to go get medical help. Did Havoc ever have a waifu? I know a couple of characters that Havoc is a fan of, but I don't know if any of them are waifu material. Oh, you meant your dad? Oh, my dad. My dad would have a waifu? I don't know. I can't think of any characters that he ever really would say was a waifu. I know a couple that he really liked, but I don't know about waifu. I don't ask that kind of stuff of my father. I don't ask my father who his waifu is. That's a strange conversation topic for me. I have a question since you're good at decision making. Should I pull out my life savings, quit my job, and go back to school full time? And if so, what should I become? Okay, number one, I'm not good at decision making. Number two, what do you think is gonna make you more content in the long term? Like, if you're not content with your current job, if you don't feel fulfilled with what you're doing, then you know, it's always a good time to kind of take a turn and decide a new path in life. But if you don't know what else you want to do, I don't think becoming more content is a realistic goal. Oh. What specific things make you feel accomplished? And is there a way to increase the amount of times that happens related to employment and or education? I'm trying to word it in like the most like logical way. Like no content. Yeah, I'm trying my best here. I guess he had some best goals for specific series. I probably. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I even know who like his favorite character was in Outlaw Star. I don't think I even know who his favorite character was in that. And that was like the main one growing up. And it also is a slightly difficult question for me. His waifu was Riska. My dad never read Homestuck. Feel accomplished? Yeah, what gives you like a little bit of, yeah, I did it. I achieved something. You don't know that? No, he always when I was drawing mostly Homestuck stuff, he always used to criticize me because all of my art because I was drawing trolls, it was grey skin, and he was always telling me that I was like ruining my own art by not drawing like anything that didn't have grey skin. And I was like, but I literally do sometimes, I just don't very often. I'm thinking about going back to college and becoming epic geologist or physicist myself. Sounds like a lot of work, so oh god. Okay, don't oof yourself. Don't do that. Your silver shot. I never did that. I don't know. God, future decisions. I mean, I used to want to go back to and try university, but like I always feel like all the stuff that I want to do, I wouldn't really benefit from going to university. I would benefit more from just like building a portfolio. But obviously, you know, not every profession. Some professions are like, you know, there's a heavy education knowledge aspect that you need. I don't really feel qualified to help decide what someone should do with their entire life. I mean, I'll cheer for whatever decision you make as long as you're healthy about it, but that's difficult. Don't know if I believe that jobs you enjoy doing and pay well exist, to be honest. I guess it depends what your definition of pay well is, I suppose. Like, for me, well, I guess I never had to pay like a mortgage, or I only had to pay rent for like a bit, and now I only pay just like a bit of board, which is a lot cheaper than rent. So I've never had to like earn like a super high amount. monetary decisions is difficult for me. I don't know. You should become an economist. I shouldn't do that. I hope that's aimed at hooks, because I definitely shouldn't. Could become a corporate hobbyist one way or another, a game that might take some time speccing into speed/reliability. Aimed at you? God, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Whenever people talk about economy stuff, like, I try my best to keep up, but my brain just, like, starts tripping over the cogs. Didn't you want to be an accountant or something? Yeah, when I was younger, when I was, like, between the ages of 11 and 15. Economics is just accounting for smart people. I've not been using my brain enough for the past 10 years. What do you know about the current news? Intentionally nothing. I avoid it because it will make me feel depressed. I avoid it because it'll make me lose faith in mankind. It's very important to me that I don't lose my faith in mankind anymore. I'm really bad at there's two spheres. Your sphere of knowledge, everything that you're aware of is happening in the world, and your sphere of control, everything that you can affect. My problem is I'm really bad at knowing where my sphere of control needs to end, because I feel like I can't make a lot of difference in this world. However, the more I learn, the more I'm like, I need to do something. But 9 times out of 10 there's nothing I can do, so then it just like feeds like a despair cycle, which is really bad for me. I wonder if any math physics adjacent job would have worked out for you. Probably. Those were my best subjects when I was in school. Those were my #1 subjects. You solved this okay, Pluvium, that's really fucked up. You can't, no. I fully believe that each human is a full sentient being with their own, would make a bad difference. Don't want personal agency anymore. Philosophical zombie. I mean, don't get me wrong. I 100% understand. Like, I get it. But also, I'm not qualified to be the person who makes that decision for people. I truly believe in the phrase ignorance is bliss, but unfortunately I'm not very good at remaining ignorant. I can't help but think. I'm so freaking good at overthinking. Such a pain. That's fine. How much can one ignore? Some people are really good at it, and I'm kind of jealous of them, even if, you know, maybe those people are ignorant, but, you know, I wonder where the line is between ignorance and just, like, personal contentment. I read what is an industry it's currently on fire and a bad way behind the scenes, but the general public hasn't noticed yet. I'm feeling a bit bad about what I read. Yeah, I accidentally was watching like loads of documentary style stuff on YouTube for a while, and that was a mistake, because while I find it really informative, I love information, I love learning things. I always want to learn things. I want to know more about the world all of the time. both history, current time, every aspect of humankind. But it's so despair-inducing. It's so despair-inducing. Yeah, they should invent more positive history. Yeah. What mitigation / risk reductions can you affect still? Yeah, I love information about... Oh god, that's a frightening sentence to read. Chemicals, radiation lurking around. Yeah, I was watching... Actually, speaking of prions or prions or however you meant to pronounce it, I watched a video about the mad cow outbreak that was in the, was it the 80s in the UK? And was it in the 90s? 80s or 90s? Not that long ago. And apparently how, you know, the full effects of that and everyone who actually got infected with that might not have been found. How some people might still end up dying from, what is it, JKL? Jacobs something. I still want to try some mad cow meat. I'm pretty sure... Oh, CJ? Okay. Creutzfeldt Jacob. I'm pretty sure mad cow meat apparently, like, tastes the exact same as normal cow meat. Just because I think people would have noticed the difference, surely, if there'd been, a taste difference. Should have been, what, dying from Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease? No. That's a horrible way to go. Browns are really resistant to cooking too. Yeah. Yeah, I just, it was kind of horrifying to me to find out, like, the extent of it, and that it's, you know, it's not a thing that is necessarily like, oh, well, that was in the past and no one else is gonna suffer because of that. Crazy. But I have to think, this world is a lot, but, you know, it's fine. I live here. There are some good news subreddits. If only I used Reddit. Why is Reddit the only place where there's good news? Can I get some good news on a different website? I've always, while I was watching all those documentary things, it made me think a lot about, like, how I'd love to, like voice the videos for that kind of stuff. But I don't think I had, like, the main channel that I watch for it, the guy who reads out the actual information is not the script writer. He just reads the scripts and stuff. I know that I definitely wouldn't be able to dedicate the right amount of time into research for it, to then turn into a script to then read out. Like, I would have to find someone else, but then I'm like, well, who do I trust to research a topic to the standard that I want them to, that then also then wants me to read out what they wrote? But I think it'd be nice to have a YouTube channel that reads out, like, good news, like historical good news as well, like the eradication of smallpox, yeah, how humans developed different medicines, although I'd have to ask the scriptwriter to try and not too explicitly mention my phobia. I can kind of gloss over it, but if they make me explain it in depth, I'll cry. Although Calamity. God, if only YouTube emotes actually worked across channels. But I think it'd be really nice to have, like, a good news. Positive news doesn't sell though. I know. But I still think it'd be a nice channel to have. You could do the kind of, like, the middle ground as well sometimes. You know, people love true crime. So if you go with the solved solved true crime. Is that good news or bad news? Yes, someone died, but they caught him. I assume everyone knows about those, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's something I think about, but I know that I can't do all of the work myself. And I don't know anyone who would put all that research and time and effort into writing the research and then the script and then everything, and then be content with me reading it out instead of just themselves. So, who knows? Anyway. I don't care who does it. Can we just have some freaking good news out there sometimes, please? Tell me about... I do get to watch some, like, sometimes I get videos about, like, forests that have been restored, and, like, coral reefs that have been restored, animals that nearly went extinct that have been returned to the wild, you know, stuff like that. Cool discoveries from the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. I don't know. You hear about China messing up the while planting too many trees? Is that really? I didn't realize that was a thing. I did not hear about that. The trees absorb too much water? Damn. Humans are not very good at balancing things. But no, I didn't hear about that. Sorry, I'm really tired. Need more good news. Anyway, I'm gonna read a chapter of this, of the World of Warcraft lore. I've got like 2 things I want to do this week. I just a sudden segue. One's related. I want to go through all my VODs of me reading and find the actual timestamps to when I actually like do the when actually I'm reading the book that I have listed in the title, because trying to find where I got to last time, you know, having to skim all the way to the 53-minute mark before I read a chapter, I was like, okay, this really should have some kind of notation on it. Oops, sorry, I just hit the wire of my ASMR mic. The other thing I want to do is, for my singing, I keep thinking about wanting to do a karaoke stream, and now I know last week on Thursday I mentioned, oh, you guys might hear me on someone else's stream on the weekend, and that was actually, I was correct, it was meant to be last weekend, but the person whose stream it was, it seems like she has come down with some kind of sickness, and so it's probably gonna be on this Sunday, but potentially sometime after that, just basically when she's better. But speaking of singing, for menacing music, well, when I actually get to reading the chapter, it's because it's themed around about what I'm meant to be reading, which is menacing. It's the old gods of Azeroth. But I want to get around to like downloading all of the like karaoke tracks of all the songs that I have on my song list, so that I don't have to rely on YouTube for the background music anymore. But that's like a whole task. That is a massive task. And I don't know if I'm strong enough. Anyway, reading. I'll think about doing that next week. Maybe I'll remember. Maybe I won't. I'm really good at forgetting things. If anyone hadn't noticed, somehow. Right. Get a book into place. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna read. Full stop. Please let me know if I need to adjust the volume at any time. If you need to go get something to drink, something to eat, get some rest, please feel free. I do not have the ability to redirect at the end of my stream, so if you do fall asleep throughout my stream, you will not be waken up by being sent to someone else's stream at the end. But other than that, yeah, that's it. Right. Add reverb? No. I don't have reverb in OBS Studio. I need to move this wire. Get out my way. Okay, hopefully that'll stay there. Okay. Wrath of the Titan Forged. Led by the Keepers, the Titan Forge slammed into the Black Empire's northernmost holdings. The resilience and strength of the Pantheon's armies made them an unstoppable force. They unleashed the wrath of gods upon their enemies, scouring legions of Naraki and Akir and sundering their temples. The arrival of the Titan Forged caught the old gods completely off guard. They reeled in response to these stone and metal-skinned invaders, but they were determined not to lose control over Azeroth. To reassert their dominance, the old gods called upon their greatest lieutenants, the Elemental Lords. The enraged Elemental Lords and their minions beset the Titan Forged on all sides. Ever wary of fighting a unified elemental army, the Keepers resolved to divide and conquer their enemies. Thus, they split their own forces and dispatched each group of Titan Forged to make war on a specific elemental lord. Tyr and Odin volunteered to confront the most destructive elemental lieutenant, Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Their battle raged for weeks, engulfing the land in fire and magma. Yet the Keepers' resilient metal forms kept them safe from Ragnaros's fiery onslaughts. Through sheer strength and force of will, Tyr and Odin pushed Ragnaros back into his volcanic lair in the east. In a land of boiling acid seas and skies choked with ash, the two Keepers defeated the Fire Lord. Meanwhile, Archadis and Freya unleashed their powers upon Therazane the Stone Mother. To protect herself and her minions, the elemental ruler retreated into the towering stone spire that she had called home. Archadis used his dominion over the earth to weaken the citadel's foundations and shatter the craggy giants who guarded it. Freya then made colossal roots sprout from the ground to entangle the fortress. They wormed through stone and crystal, buckled the citadel's walls, and brought them down on Therazane's head. Ra, Thorim, and Hodir waged war with Alkir the Windlord. Using their mastery over the skies and storms, they forced the Elemental Lord back to his lair among the highest peaks of Azeroth. Lightning set the heavens aflame as Alkir struggled to hold off his foes. In the end, the three Keepers turned the Elemental Lord's own power against him, defeating Alkir atop his lofty domain. Neptulion the Tidehunter and his minions rushed to aid the other embattled Elemental Lords, but they were waylaid by Loken and Mimiron. The two Keepers used their wits to harry and outmaneuver Neptulion's forces at every turn. Ultimately, Loken unleashed his arcane powers to freeze and shatter the water's elemental forms, while Mimiron crafted enchanted bonds to imprison Neptulion himself. Although the Elemental Lords had been defeated, the Keepers knew that they could not utterly destroy the beings. The spirits of the Elementals were bound to Azeroth itself. If they were killed, their corporeal forms would simply manifest again in time. Ra soon found a solution. He set out to imprison the Elementals, much as the great Sargeras had done to demons. Ra first called on the aid of the gifted Titan-forged sorceress Helia.
They worked in concert to craft 4 interlinked domains within a pocket dimension known as the Elemental Plane. Ra and Hylia then banished the Elemental Lords and nearly all of their servants to this enchanted prison realm. Ragnaros and the Fire Elementals were exiled to a smouldering corner of the Elemental Plane known as the Firelands. Therazane and the Earth Elementals were locked within the crystalline spires of Deepholm. Alkir and the Air Elementals were imprisoned among the cloudy spires of the Skywall. Lastly, Neptunion and the Water Elementals were sucked into the fathomless depths of the Abyssal Maw. Only a few elementals would remain on the surface of Azeroth. With their leaders gone, these beings scattered and abandoned the war. Having contained the elementals, the Keepers turned their attention to the Black Empire's Akuri legions. Many of the insectoids dwelled in vast catacombs that snaked beneath the surface of the devastated world. Arcadus bent the stones and soil to his will, collapsing the Akiri burrows and driving the creatures above ground. Upon emerging from their lairs, the insectoids found themselves surrounded by the Titanforged. The battles between the Titanforged and the Akir proved unexpectedly vicious. In time, the Keepers destroyed most of the Akiri race. Small pockets of the insectoids, those that had tunneled deep underground, escaped the Keepers' wrath. Yet they were too weakened to mount a counterattack. So actually I should have had Firelands music on, not Old God, Visions of North. That was off, I guess. Foot page. Yeah, well, at the end there, I wasn't sure if that was the end of the chapter or whether that was, it was just going to show me a map in between the middle of the chapter. But no, that was the end, so. Because what they do is, throughout the book itself, they show kind of like where the territories in Azeroth are, like what they're controlled. Let us see it. Let me try. Pretty sure the last time that I asked Havoc to try and find the map for me, they were all Imgur images, and so I really struggled to see the images because, you know, wait, how am I supposed to pronounce it again? I'm pronouncing it wrong, aren't I? Here's the link to all the art. I can't see it because the content's not available in my region, but if you scroll down on this page, there's a map. It says the Black Empire in the corner, and then it's got just all the different coloured regions of who owns what. Imager? I see. Nice and Peter Zim reference. I really wish they hadn't banned it in the UK. Annoying as hell. Even no, it was Imager. Imager just decided to block the UK. I am jealous. You can see one of them though. I sent the link to Havoc to try and. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, Havoc actually did extract some of the images for me. Save JPEG. What do you mean JPEG is unknown or disabled in the settings? It's a JPEG. Are you serious? Scale. Transform. Here we go. This is the map I'm looking at. There we go. I got there in the end. So this shows all the different. This shows Azeroth and where all the different old gods and elemental lords owned things. This was obviously also before Azeroth was split into Side 2. This was before you know, the world was split between Northrend, Pandaria, Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdor, Broken Isles, all the stuff in the middle, Zandalar, Yogg-Saron, you miss her? I killed her yesterday. She didn't give me Memoron's head again. Didn't realise how badly the elemental gods were getting bodied. Yeah, they got wrecked. I'm also surprised to hear about Neptulion taking part, but I guess they were all under the control of the old gods, so. Before the contents drifted apart and also 1,000 lost islands were found. True. There's still another lost island that we don't know. Despite, you know, the world being a globe and surely we should know everything that's on it by now. But we still don't know where the Arathi went. They're like, the Arathi are like, yeah, we sailed off. And where are they? They've gone. Where did they sail to? We don't know. We don't know where they sailed to. Where is their kingdom? We've explored other planets, other worlds. They're at the North Pole. No, that's Northrend. Northrend's the North Pole. I believe Icecrown Citadel is supposed to be like the North Pole, pretty much. It's easier to go to different dimensions of different continents on the same planet. Yeah, for real. Although I guess not quite in the same way, but like we have a hard, like humans have a hard time like going and exploring deep into the earth. Like the bottom of the ocean, some of that's still a mystery, and we've also still only gone about like 7 miles underground. We've never reached the mantle. We've certainly never even thought about getting near the core of the earth. We don't know what's in there. That could be an egg. What if we have a world soul? What if Earth has a world soul? That'd be messed up. We haven't really mapped the oceans. It's messed up. Northrend is what they want you to think the North Pole is. We have a bit of a hard time entering different dimensions though. Skill issue. What if Earth has a world soul? They hate us. What if it's a frog? Isn't that meant to be the universe? The universe is a frog. Unless maybe there is a frog inside the Earth. Maybe it's all frogs. It's just all frogs all the way down. Do I want to wake up all the Atlanteans? Those guys are bad news. What, worse than us? I don't know. I was discussing though the other day, if an old god came to this planet, I would probably fall. I'd probably fall for their lies. If they promised me what I wanted, I would be like, hell yeah, sign me the fuck up. And Havoc was like, we gotta keep you away from the Fae, even though they're literally Fae. And I was like, listen, if they're willing to give me what I want, you know, I'm willing to work out a deal. And they're like, well, you're gonna, like, you'll be forced into servitude. I'm like, listen, if they're willing to give me what I want, I'm not expecting that kind of stuff for free, okay? If I get eternal life and knowledge of all human history from the beginning of time, you know, that's what I want. Give it to me. Two of the titles in this Overwatch season are Court Jester and Enchanted Fae. Why are they so me-coded? What the heck? Oh, rude. they could get sneaky with the contract language. Listen, this is not my first rodeo with the Fae. I know how to read a contract. I know how to check for loopholes. I'll be alright. I'll make a deal with anyone. Old god, fae, demon, if I'd do it. They're all just avoiding me though. Like even though I've said so many times, you know, I'd probably, if I had a soul, I'd sell my soul, but they never come. No one ever comes to say, "Hey, well, I'll take it. We can make a deal." It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. They know that I'll outsmart them. It's very sad. Anyway.
Tired. Really sorry for streaming early. Oh yeah, that my schedule said I was going to. And then being this tired that I want to pass out right now. I'm glad I streamed though. I told myself I'm gonna stream 3 times a week, every week, in May. I gotta get back into the pattern of it. You read a bit though? I did. Goal achieved. I yapped, I read, I yapped. That's it, that's all I did. You're allowed to be sleepy? No, it's illegal. I don't want to be sleepy anymore. I want to be free. You clearly suffer from an intense Zatsu backlog. Which surprises me. I have such a life of being indoors in my house. How do I talk so much? I just don't know. I love talking. Alright, but yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna honk shoe me. I think it's actually gonna work. Oh god, I think it's actually gonna work as well, actually, me trying to get some sleep. I am gone. What am I doing? Thursday. Whoa, Riot, hi, go to bed. Okay. Okay, message received. Damn, I'm really just coming in to be like, alright, fuck off, PRT. Down. Yeah, next stream is Thursday, 6 PM. I'm gonna be finishing the macaron piece. The stream might go on longer than usual because I'm literally going to stream until it's done. I'm about shame and I was like, this sounds like one tiny cat. Yeah, I am. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I could stream, and I'm glad people could come along to see stream, even if it's at the different time than usual. Okay, or not. I guess I can retract my sentence too. Do I feel like me annoy you? Anytime. But yeah, Thursday stream is literally going to be me working on the macaron art until it's finished. I don't care if it takes like 8 hours. I need it finished before Sunday. I need it finished. So yeah, that's the plan. So until then, get something to eat, get something to drink, get some rest, pay your bills, make choices that are as beneficial to you as you possibly think they can be. Yeah, that's it. Good night. Onyasumi. Good night. night. Shut up, creepy music. That's enough of that. Good night. Beam.